Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I'm really excited about today because I am sharing these art journals that I made with you. By the way, my name is Amber and I am a mixed media artist, and today I just thought I'd share these art journals with you and then maybe do some artwork, or not maybe, I am going to do some artwork in this one. So just recently I have been absolutely loving art journaling and mixed media art and abstract art, and I've been super inspired by a few artists. Hang on, I think I'm really zoomed in here. No, I'm not zoomed in. So I've been really inspired by some artists, one being Denise Love, and I went to Hobbycraft the other day. If you're in the UK, that Hobbycraft is our like Hobby Lobby, but it's not as good. In America, yours is the Hobby Lobby and Michael's, but we don't have that many art shops, I suppose, and Hobbycraft is like our big sort of box store. But anyways, they had this mixed media sketchbook in there, and when I looked through, I was like, oh my god, look at how cool this is. It's got all different kinds of sheets of paper and all different like kinds, some burlap, and then in the end, sorry about my dog barking, in the end of it here, it's got some calico material as well, so I thought that was really cool. But I didn't really like the exact paper that's in here for like actual mixed media. I feel like watercolor won't really work on this. It almost just feels like cardstock, so obviously you could gesso it, but yeah, I just thought this is really nice, but the overall quality is not great. So I was browsing an artist called Denise Love's videos on Skillshare, because I've just been binging my free month of Skillshare videos lately, and she had a class where she makes near enough the exact same thing, but it's a handmade journal. And I honestly thought that bookbinding would be really, really hard. It's time consuming, I'd say, but it's not as hard as I thought. And I decided to make myself one of these mixed media journals, art journals, but with all the paper that I think would be really cool in here. So this is quite large. This is a A4 size journal, and I've used the Khadi watercolour paper because that is one of my absolute favourites for watercolour at the moment. This is the Clairefontaine Paint On paper in the denim blue. Also the Clairefontaine Paint On paper in the black, because I love this, especially for coloured pencil. And look, I had this left over from some packaging. I used to pack and send, like when I used to sell paintings, which I will be selling paintings again very soon, but I haven't sold anything for a long time. But yeah, I used to wrap them up in this sometimes, and I had loads of this left, and I was like, oh, doesn't this look amazing and match this book so well? And the cover is one of my mum's old dresses. I saw her putting it in a bag to sell on Vinted, and I was like, hang on a second, I love this. So I nabbed that off of her. I made her take it off Vinted. And I used it for this journal, and I've got some left as well, so I'm going to make a few more journals out of this one dress. I've got some burlap in here, and I love how the edges are really raw, like bits are coming off. I just think it really adds to like this handmade mixed media journal. So what other papers have we got? I think apart from, I've put some of the calico in here as well. So if we gesso that'll be really cool to work on, I think. And I really like the idea as well of like cutting bits out of this and making a window onto the other side and stuff. So that's going to be cool. And I've also got some craft paper in here as well. This is just normal craft paper. Yes, I'm really excited about this. So I've now got the bug for making art journals, and I've got so much different paper that we can try, well, that I can try in different books and stuff, that I am going to have too many all just for me. So I am in the process of redoing all of my Etsy shop, and I'm really hoping to be able to perhaps offer these as a product. But we'll see how it goes, because at the moment I am loving making these, and I've got so many ideas for making like different kinds, and I've got so much beautiful fabric, and I've got so much of this tweed left with the little leaves to use for bookmarks, and I'm over the moon with these and so excited. So I feel like I'm already cherishing this one too much, and so this one, I never left enough material between the, what do you call it, the backboard and, well, the board, the front covers and like the spine. So it struggles a little tiny bit to just open flat, this one, and like sort of stay flat. Also, just a little picture collage of photos of me and my husband I stuck in here. But actually, now that I say that, I think it's probably stretched a little bit. So I was going to put this one in the pile of like some books that I could sell, but I've decided to use it myself, and it's a really lovely size. So this is about A5 size, and we've also got lots of different paper in here. And this one's got paper that's a little bit different as well, but I have already started working in here. So in this one I also added the mixed media, Strathmore mixed media toned grey paper as well. So lots of different papers to play on, mostly the watercolour paper because that is my favourite. Oh, I'll show you that in just a second. The only thing that I'm getting in these books, that there might be a better way to do it, but also I don't mind because I feel like it adds to the whole sort of rough and ready and handmade effect, is this part, you know, where the signatures you call like, so this is made with 4 sections of pages in there, 4 sections of pages, and it's kind of where the sections go together. So I tried to glue it so they sort of stayed together, so you didn't see any of like the raw spine, but it's just not working out that way, and I'm not sure why. It doesn't really matter because I can stick more paper over, I can gesso this, I could even stick some glue there and then sort of stick that, like they're really, really sturdy and could take a lot of like abuse, I think. The binding is really strong, the actual sewing of it, so I think you could pretty much do whatever you wanted in here, and that's my plan. I'm going to try all sorts out. So this is only the very first video of me doing some art in this journal on this channel, and I'd really like to make lots of videos of me working in here on all the different papers with all different supplies. So I already got started yesterday, should I say. I broke this in yesterday and I did 2 paintings. So at the moment I am hosting an August art challenge on Instagram, and each week I am posting 4 different colour palettes to match a certain theme. So this week's theme is Fruit Fiesta, and I have 4 different colour palettes here that I'll show you. Whoops, my light there, I'll have to put it so the light's not ruining anything. 4 different themes inspired by Fruit Fiesta. So we've got some coconut drinks here and a colour palette I made to go with it. And all these photos are on Unsplash as well. So you could even, if you wanted to join in on this challenge on Instagram, you could even copy the exact photos. So we've got this kiwi. I love this. I think this is the one I'm going to do in today's video. These orange slices and limes, which this is the colour palette that inspired this. So you can see, try and get it so my ring light doesn't just ruin it. But yeah, so this one inspired this and all these colours, and then this one, so this was on the craft paper and I gessoed this first, so that was a lot of fun to work on actually, and I think the gesso just helped it not sink into the other side. So yeah, this one was this watermelon palette, and I love it, but I think I used too much green and made it look really dark, and I feel like it would have been better if it was really light and lovely. But so I could have another go at this palette, but I'm really feeling this one, and I will just show you really quick. I don't want this video to be too long, so it's probably not a good idea for me to be showing you other things, because I could just talk on and on all day long. Yeah, I did this in this colour palette as well, in my favourite, bestest little treasure sketchbook in the world. I love this sketchbook, the Talon's Art Creation sketchbook. But yeah, I'm starting to do a bit of collage now and mixed media, and yeah, I used this colour palette, and I loved, in the magazine I found a picture of this girl, and she matches, her dress matches this light colour here as well, so that was a lot of fun to do actually. And then this one I did, and that is that colour palette, and I kind of copied the picture as well, minus the limes. So that was a lot of fun. Every now and then my dog's going to bark, and I'm sorry, I can't control them. Yeah, I gessoed these pages in here and stuck some tissue paper on and gessoed over it, because I thought perhaps that might make like an interesting texture to paint on top of. But I'm in Nacho, do you mind? Right, I'll try again. Where was I? So yeah, that would make a really fun texture. Yeah, I'm in experimentation mode at the moment, experimenting with everything I can experiment with, I'm experimenting with. Even stencils, no, stamps. Yeah, not stencils, well, stencils too actually. Stencils and stamps I'm experimenting with, and I've got these really cool arty stamps. I might even use them today. So I'm going to stop talking about, oh yeah, I did this too. Oh dear, I totally forgot I did this. So I started it a couple of days ago, and I just want my one of these books to be filled with abstract art and experiments and sketching and photos. See, I've only stuck these photos in with tape because I'd like to use them in like in a proper collage eventually. But these are just photos I had around that weren't in a frame or anything. So stick to the burlap and just with tape. It's just awesome. What an amazing book, and I'm so proud of myself for making it. Right, so what I'll do is I'm going to pick some colours out, and then I'm just going to go on and start a painting. So as I'm picking the colours out, I'll pop the colour palette on the screen so you can see it and see what my sort of thought process is with the colours while I'm picking them out. And the paints that I'm loving at the moment, and especially loving on the Khadi watercolour paper, is my Gansai paints, I suppose. This is a Kuretake Art Nouveau set in here, and then these are the these are, I can't remember the make, I think it's like Kisho, but these are from the store Choosing Keeping in London, and I got them for my birthday. And I'll pop a little card up the top because I did an art haul, a birthday art haul in my last video, and I swatched these out and talked about them a little bit more, so if you want to go and check that out you can. But what I like to do, because I feel like I've got a really nice selection of colours just with these paints, so what I like to do is use my colour palette and then like choose my colour palette and then pick colours out of my sets of paints. And it doesn't matter if I don't get them exact. The most important thing is that I get them as close as I can. So straight away I know in this set that bright pink colour, I think I've got two sets here with what's got a really lovely bright pink colour, but this one is a bit too pink. I love this little set. I actually got this one just for this bright pink colour because I'm a mad woman, but I've been using the greens, so I will use all of these colours. This is the best thing about working in colour palettes. I find that I've been using colours that I never thought I would use, so it's ideal. Or like, you know, I've got colours in my watercolour tins that I've had sat around for ages, and since I've been working with mostly the colour palettes, I've been going back to them colours and using them, and it just feels like a really nice and fun way to work, and I'm finding colour palettes that I love, that I've never thought I would either. So we've got this looks a bit more red, I suppose, than what's on here, but yeah, this really lovely bright pink colour, that's what I'm going to use. I'm also going to take the I think on screen it's probably a little bit more of like a beigey colour than this. This is a little bit more of a pinky colour, but I'm going to take that anyways. This one, I could use this, but I don't want to. Or perhaps I could use this as well. That's very close actually, so I'm going to use that instead. Right, so I love doing this. I find this just the most fun part of art lately. So I need a really dark, like pink colour, really dark one. So that is going to be this one, I reckon. And as I said, doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to be as close as I can. Right, so I think I'll try and put the right lids on these, but I'm sure I've got them all mixed up. My summer palette, I feel like, is going to have the greens that I want. So this lovely bright green here. Look at these colours. I swatched them out in the last video, and I actually did have a comment actually to say that it looked like when these were wet they were all the same sort of colour, although they looked all really similar, and they are really similar, but this one's a little bit more like a coolish sort of blue. This one's like an ultramarine, and I suppose this is similar to this but a little bit more blue, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to take this lovely bright green colour. I'm trying to be quick because I've only got about an hour until my husband gets back from work, and I don't like to record my videos when he's here because I get embarrassed. So yeah, I'm going to just try and get this get at least the first layer done, and then I can wait for that to dry and perhaps do a voiceover for like the marks that I'm going to do on top. So I've got my greens. Oh look, I think I'm doing a really good job here actually of matching to the palette. And then we've got a really dark blue, and I think this is a perfect colour. It's quite granulating as well, which I love. I don't know what any of the colours are actually called because they're all in Japanese. So it's just a dark blue for today. Right. Okay, so I've got all my colours. 6 colours, all from these sets, and I think they probably will match really close. So I'm going to pop them over here. And I'm going to open to a random page in my book. I think I would like to do it on here because then I can do the other colour palette that I'm yet to do for this week on this page, and then I've got all this week's colour palettes in a row, and I think that would be really nice. So I will just use a little clip to clip my paper down, and I'll use a clip on this side as well just to keep it laying flat. I just think the spine of this journal needed breaking in a little bit because it's laying nice and flat now. So yeah, right. First things first, I've got my little pipette or pipette, and I'm just going to wet my paints. So I've got no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pick a colour in a moment and start putting colour on the page. This is the way I love to work at the minute. Abstract art with watercolour and mixed media is just the best thing ever for me. At the minute, I was starting to go through a stage where I just wasn't enjoying anything I was doing, and that has all changed now thanks to this sort of style, because I'm just happy and proud of everything I'm creating, even if I don't like it. So okay, so this does look a lot more red than the hot pink that is in the actual colour palette, and I'm a bit worried that, what's the number, 225, let me just see the 225, it's definitely pink, so I was just looking at the swatch to see if it was the same. See, this is why it's good to swatch your colours, because I wouldn't say that was pink. I would say that's red, but... And I'm going to start off with it because it's the one I'm most excited about. So, straight on the paper. Here we go. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. It's the exact colour I want. Oh, just look. Oh, the texture. Just, I love this paper. I really love it. I think a few people don't like it because it's a very strange, it's just strange. It works a bit strange. It warps the paper as well, but it dries flat again, so that's not a problem for me. My camera just went flat then, so that put me off a little bit. But what was I going to say? Yeah, it's been so hot here the past few days. My poor doggies have really been struggling. We're not used to this kind of heat. Oh, some splatter. I do love a bit of splatter. It's my favourite. Yeah, so if you can hear one of them panting in the background, that is why. Because they won't just go and have a nice cold drink and lay on the nice tile floor. That is cool. They'd rather lay on the carpet in my art room with me, and that's okay. Right, let's do some green. Oh, I'm loving this colour palette already. And I want to try and leave a little bit of white space for this, because I never leave white space. I always forget and forget and regret afterwards. So that's the goal, but I can see myself already. And the brush that I'm using is this number 2 Raven. I think like it's called a mop brush, and that's from Jackson's Art. And I never usually use it because I usually work quite small, and this is quite a big brush. But obviously this is small. A5 is pretty small, but this is a perfect size for this. So I don't want to put too much of that dark green down. So now I'm going to go on with this beigey colour, which I totally overlooked, but it's the exact colour of what's on my colour palette. Problem is I haven't really left enough white space, so now I am going to probably end up filling in the entire of the paper. I might even do some collage on this. I think I'm only going to record this in real time, this stage, and then once it's dry, I will go and do all the collage and mark making, etc, and I'll do a voiceover for it and perhaps speed it up, because it does take me a little while to do art sometimes, and this video will probably be about 2 hours long, and nobody wants that. Unless you do want that, let me know. Do you prefer like long videos or short videos? What is the sort of time video that is your favourite? Because I think I like to watch anything what's like 20 minutes to 30 minutes is like a sweet spot for me, I suppose. So some of these watercolours are quite transparent, and then some of them are not. So like the pink's quite transparent, the green is quite transparent, but then this beigey colour is really sort of milky and a bit more creamier, so it mixes differently with the black, which is interesting. Yeah, I feel like my darkest red there is a little bit redder than what's on my colour palette, but that's also okay. Nothing matters. I've learned this a lot about not taking things too seriously all the time, especially not my art, because I'm not interested in taking things seriously anymore. I've got to be honest. I just want to play. Oh, I quite like that. Yes. Yeah, I'm just not interested in anything serious. I just want to have fun. Oh, look, I made that drip and now it's dripping into that pink. Oh, look, yes. Okay, so this is the point where I love to overwork everything. So this is the moment where I would, and I think I'm actually going to go against what I was about to say, and I'm going to add, I want to show you some magic. So here we go. I've got my white De La Rowney FW acrylic ink here, and I've also got, hang on, black. I want Payne's Grey, but I need to find it. 1 second. Oh, I've got a really lovely dark purple there. Okay, I'm going to totally go against what I was about to say. I was about to say this is the moment where I need to leave it because I'm going to overwork it and ruin it. And there's always a stage what I love and I think, oh, I wish I would have left it there. And that is this stage. But do you know what? Life's too short for leaving it there. So Payne's Grey, I want to show you how amazing this is, the acrylic ink. So I'll just give it a good shake up. Are you ready? I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's about to happen. Hopefully that I can do it before it gets too dry. Right, Payne's Grey, acrylic ink, bam. Look at that. Oh my God. Right, I'm glad I did this. We'll do another one over there. We'll do another one up here. Don't want to do too many. Oh. Yes. Right. Okay, stop. Stop it. Shall I try this? Yeah. Shall I try this? Oh, this little dauber is a bit, this little pipette is a little bit wobbly actually. Oh, I haven't even got it on screen. I'll zoom out now. Right, let's chuck a little bit of that in there. Yeah, it's quite dark, so I'm not gonna put this everywhere because I've already got the darkness with the Payne's Grey. Little tiny bit here, just a tiny bit, little bit here, little tiny dobs here and there, I reckon. Look at that. Just a bit of fun. Why not? Yeah. Do you know what I love the most about abstract art is when it ends up looking like an alien invasion or something. That's what I love because I don't know, I think that's just my vibe. So, put the lid back on them. I could come in here with a white. Shall I come in here with a white? Let me know in the... I'm going to do it, but let me know in the comments. What would you have done? Come in here with a white? Or left it as it is? I'm going to do some little... You can, when this is nearly dry, your watercolour, you can come in with just water and create some cauliflower blooms, which, if you're a proper watercolour artist... I suppose most of the time you want to avoid getting the blooms, but not if you're me. We love it. We love the blooms. I also love cauliflower. Cauliflower is one of my favourite vegetables ever. Do you know where I think I want some white? I've got a few areas where I just think it will look good. So we're going to do a little plop here, plop it in. Here, here. Yeah, I think this could end up looking a bit alien invasion-y. Oh my God, look at that. And this, down in this corner, this is where we be done. We be done. Be done now. Okay. This is going to go amazing here, so I am going to add a little tiny bit more. This is my thought process as I am creating, actually. All of the time. I'm constantly having an argument with myself, like back and forth, should I do this, should I not? And most of the time I just do it, and then if I don't like it, I've learned for the next time not to do that anymore. So win-win situation. And I'm loving this colour palette, I will say. So I'm going to leave this to dry now. I'm not going to touch it. I've got some little splatters on here. That's not a problem. I'm going to gesso on this anyways. Which I might... Do you know what? I might just do that. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that now because that means that I'm adding something extra to this video that doesn't need to be added. But this is why I can't do live streams, even though I'd really like to. But I still might. I do want to do live streams, but I just feel like won't know when to stop and turn the camera off because I'll just go and go and go all day long. Anyways, gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna come back with a little voiceover and talk to you about all the marks I'm going to make on top, and I can already see what I'm going to do. I'm very excited. So I shall see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to speed this all up quite a bit because I spend a lot of time drawing dots really, and you don't want to watch that in real time because it takes ages. So I went through all my art supplies and I picked out some Posca pens and some Neo colours, and also my stencils, some collage materials, and I don't actually end up using the Neo colours, but I like to go through my art supplies, pick the colours that I think I might like to use, and I've got them there then, and I don't have to go rooting for all of my art supplies when I'm like trying to be in flow. So I always like to start off with some dots of some kind. I don't know why, I find it really therapeutic for one thing to paint little white dots onto things, and I said in the first half of this video I really like when my abstracts look almost like a alien invasion or something like that, like spacey. I'm really into like a spacey sort of vibe. So in the darkest areas I like to do the white dots, and then it almost looks like galaxy. So that's a lot of fun, and it always gives me somewhere to start as well. So I do enjoy just starting with the white dots, and then at least I've got some marks down. So now I'm playing a little bit with my rubber stamps. I've got this really lovely Archer and Olive set that I got from one of their subscription boxes, and it's all like moons and stars sort of theme, so I thought that would suit this. My colour palette is actually a fruit theme, and all the colour palettes for this week are fruit themed, but I haven't done any kind of fruit in this on this palette, so on this painting should I say. That's what I love about hosting an art challenge really, is I can provide the colour palettes and the prompts, and you can take it however you like. So I'm pretty much just using the colour palettes to create whatever I want. I'm not necessarily going with like the word theme, which is Fruit Fiesta. I'm just using the colours of the fruit to make my paintings, and it's a lot of fun. So now I'm adding in one of my current favourite things to do, and that is pages from a book. I have one of my favourite books I've read, which is called The Familiars, and I bought a paperback version of the book to just use for collage because I loved this book so much. I really recommend it if you're into anything witchy. And yeah, so in all of my art really now it's got a little bit of this book, which is one of my favorites, so I thought that was quite nice. The only thing is the writing in the book is got a lot about like executing witches and stuff, so I try not to use the words that are a bit dark and horrible but it has got a lot of really good sentences in there, so I enjoy using this. And I'm just using my fingers in my paint to just blend the book pages into the paper. And then this is where I was trying to add a little bit of the kiwi into my painting. So I'm using my beige Posca pen and then a blue Posca pen to just add that like center section of the kiwi in here, you know, the little white bit with the seeds around it. I just thought that's like adding a little bit of the fruit in here, but I do end up covering most of that up anyway in the end. I do love the pop of blue though. I feel like it adds a nice vibrancy to the painting and just something else to look at other than the pinks and greens really. Sometimes, because in the colour palette the blue colour is really dark, just going a shade lighter and adding that lighter pop of blue in there, it just brings, like, it makes it pop, you know? I think this one is one of my favourite abstracts that I've done recently. I love the Khadi paper for one thing, and I love how the acrylic inks react on top of the watercolours. I just think it's so much fun. So now I'm going in with some stenciling. I really enjoy using gold to add some little, well, pops of gold into my paintings, and I use this quite a lot actually. So it's just a gold acrylic paint, and I don't add any water or anything to it. I like to use it nice and thick so it doesn't go like underneath the stencil and create just a big mess. But I'm using the gold paint and then a makeup sponge, which you can buy in just big packs, and that's what I use to add my stencils. So I suppose sometimes it's hard to know when to be done with these abstracts, and I just add layers and layers until I feel like I'm finished, really. Like, it's a very intuitive process doing art like this, and that's why I love it so much. So I was pretty much done at this point. I left it overnight, and then I came back the next morning and I had ordered all this. It's called ephemera, and you can I bought this pack on Amazon for like $3.99, and it's just amazing. It's got all washi stickers and little pieces of paper that you can use in collage and stuff, and it's all sort of like fish themed and space themed as well, so it's really cool. And I thought I wanted to use it really, and I thought it matched this artwork, so I stuck one of these whale stickers on and also that little ticket there. But I'm just trying to like move it all around and see where the best place is to stick these, and I went and asked my husband and said, do you think it looks good with or without the stickers? And he said, just add the stickers, why not? So that's what I did, and I actually think it finished the piece off nicely, and it makes me happy every time I look at it now in my little journal. And the glue stick I'm using is just a cheap acid-free glue stick out of Hobbycraft, and it actually works so well, and it's good that it's acid free too, because it won't yellow anything over time. But anyways, that is the end of this video. I really hope you like the artwork, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you like my handmade art journals. I'm really excited to share more of this with you in the coming weeks on this channel, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more art videos like this, and leave me a comment if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to give this one a like. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!